I'm Jason Dykstra, and I'm excited to be here today with Ashley. Ashley, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice?
Sure. As Jason mentioned, my name is Ashley Marelius, and I am a family law practitioner here in Boise, Idaho. I have been in Boise since 2011. I was born and raised in Olympia, Washington. Came here for law school, was part of the Concordia inaugural class, which is how I met Jason Dykstra here. Graduated Concordia in 2016. I took the bar in that July, and I've been practicing in Boise since. I specifically practice family law, custody, divorce, with an emphasis in domestic violence work.
Wonderful. So you and I met when I was teaching at Concordia, and I was lucky enough to have you as a student. It's been very joyful as a professor to see your career trajectory. But what do you think has been your most memorable career accomplishment so far?
I would have to say that probably my most memorable is just looking at everything, all the little successes, and lumping them all together into one big success. I'm very thankful to the people who have supported me and how I got here in my practice today. And I think just having that support is probably something that's really memorable to me. Idaho is a really small bar, and so having individual people, staying on the sidelines, rooting me on as a young attorney, I think has been very memorable and important, and something that a lot of people in other bars might not get because, bigger bars, more people.
If I were to ask you for a little advice for new attorneys or law students, what would you say?
Self-care. Self-care is so huge, especially in what we're doing. Make sure, they talk about this in law school, but you don't really understand until you're practicing. Like, take that walk, turn off that phone, watch your favorite TV show if you want to, get a massage, make sure you actually get your dental care and your annual visits and such like that. And I think that's really important too, because as a young lawyer, you are trying to take on enough to make sure, your bills are paid, or you're making sure that, the supervising partner's happy. You still can't jeopardize yourself, because unfortunately in what we do, there's a lot of people that don't make it past the first 1, 5, 10 years because they just don't take care of themselves. So I think that's something that's super, super important.
One of the things I've noted is it seems like the people that are the happiest practicing law tend to have other passions and interests in their lives. I know you have some things that you're interested in outside of the law. Could you just briefly tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a couple different things, but my biggest thing, it's a big joke with all of us, is that my unpaid job is I work as a rescue advocate with Boise Bully Breed Rescue. I've been with that entity since 2011, I think 2010 maybe, doing the foster adoption coordination. So that definitely has a piece of my heart. I'm advocating for animals and assisting with placements and such like that. So I do, that kind of goes into the self-care too. Like, it's make sure you have other hobbies outside of what you're doing every day. Does it increase stress level? Of course, maybe sometimes, but it still is it's rewarding, and it's something to do other than the law. And I think it's really important to find those different things, like getting outside if you enjoy biking or volunteering or doing other things. I think that's really important.
So is there anything else that you would impart, or any other thoughts you'd have that you'd share with young attorneys or law students?
Yeah. Figure out who's, people that have made impacts on your life, and make sure you remember those and you take those along with you, because they go so much further in life. I had a really tough law school career, and I had people that doubted me and would say things to me because I was not a good law student. I had a really hard time. I ended up, you could say, failing out the first term and had to appeal to get back in. And I promised to work my tail off from that point forward. And now I am a managing member of a law firm in town. And it's, no matter what type of things get thrown at you, I think it's super important for you to know that you shouldn't give up. If this is something that you set your eyes on and something that's really important to you to accomplish, you can be a good attorney. You just have to put the work in, and you have to make sure to take care of yourself. I think that is one of the most important things.
Well, thank you, Ashley. Congratulations on the award. As someone who's watched your career trajectory and watched you succeed and thrive in law school. I'm thrilled for you, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
And thank you. Thank you, everyone who's assisted, especially Jason here and the ladies back at Concordia and everyone else who has assisted me through this process. I am so thankful and really excited to be this year's nominee. Thank you.